Number one sign your ex will take you back. Are you working on getting back with your ex? If you two have just broken up and you are trying to get their attention and get them to consider taking you back, you should know that patience is vital. If you played your cards right and managed to gain her trust again, how do you know if they are ready to give you a second chance? Reading minds isn't one of our expertise, and you will not be learning about that here, but rather something equally promising when it comes to finding out what your ex thinks and feels about you. If you are ready, let's start with the number one sign that guarantees your ex will take you back. Your ex shows that they want you in their life. While few other signs say, "I want you back," as well as having your ex leaving all communication open, like a door, and even checking up on you regularly, is one of the surest signs that they still think there is a possibility of you two getting back together. The reason why this is the number one sign is that usually when people break up and they no longer want anything to do with their ex, they delete them from all social media or even block them and never call or text. So if your ex doesn't do any of that, and they even check up on you from time to time, then it's definitely a sign that you can get in contact and even bring up the topic of giving your relationship a second chance. But before you do this, you have to take several things into consideration. Firstly, you have to make sure that you are out of the friend zone. This usually happens to guys more often than women. Namely, if she clearly states that she wants you in her life as a friend, then you have to be cautious of crossing that line and talking about her taking you back once again. For women that their man broke up with them, but still left the communication and friendship open, it's a bit simpler, solely because guys are more direct, and they don't friend zone their ex as often as women do. So first, you have to make sure you don't become their friend out of the necessity to be with them, talk, or see them, because getting out of there is a little tricky and can mess your progress towards getting back together in a relationship. Now that we got that out of the way, another thing to consider is the space you have given them. Namely, after a breakup, everyone needs some space and time to calm their head and think clearly. Having that in mind, you should make sure that you have given your ex enough time to be on their own and to have space to process the whole situation. Making a move too soon may ruin your progress as you come off as desperate. That alone is a major turnoff for people. That is why, if you still want to be with that person, try ending things on a good note and leave them time after the breakup so they can think on their own. By going no contact for 2 to 4 weeks after the breakup, at least from your end, you ensure that your ex will start missing you and wonder why you haven't contacted them. That way they feel compelled to make the first move, and that is your way in, your way of communicating with them and gradually getting their attention back. Bringing up the subject of your relationship. Now, if you have come this far and you have established a solid form of communication with your ex without looking needy or desperate, you still cannot relax and talk just about anything, especially when it comes to your relationship. You should rather let your ex bring the subject up because, otherwise, you cannot be sure that you know how they are feeling about taking you back yet and their exact emotions at this point. So if your ex mentions the relationship you two had and starts discussing what went wrong, do not think that this is a way of them pointing fingers at who's to blame, but it is merely a way to discuss the mistakes healthily as adults do. It's a way of giving you a chance to make things right. If you come to this point, then it is guaranteed your ex wants to make up and make things right this time. Let them bring the topic up first, calmly discuss what went wrong, and honestly take the blame where you made mistakes. This way you will show your ex you have changed and you have grown, and that this time the relationship will be much better than it was. Communication is vital, whether in a relationship or not. So while there are many signs through which your ex can show that they want you back, contacting you is one of the number one indicators of getting back together. Follow these guidelines through, and you will have your ex back in your arms in no time. One of my female friends just recently went through a breakup with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend stood up in front of her and said, "I'm breaking up with you." Her heart dropped. It was like a dagger stabbed her in the heart. She felt ugly, insecure, and sad all the time. She felt devastated. She had no idea the relationship was on the brink of breaking up. The next week she spent in bed crying over him. All she wanted was for everything to be back to normal again, and his arms wrapped around her. She wanted him back, and she started becoming a little desperate. She tried becoming more sexual with him, tried making him jealous with other men, and even no contact without it working at all. It actually pushed him more away than getting him closer. Then she learned a couple of simple psychological triggers that work on all men. The way she would win her ex back was to use these psychological triggers in the right order at the exact right time over a couple of weeks. A couple of times per week, she would feed her ex these psychological triggers in person, through text, and on social media. At the same time as winning her ex back, there was another man. She had had a crush on him for years, and he just got single. This guy was everything she wanted, but he was never interested in her like that. Well, what if she tested these psychological triggers on her crush as well? After a week of dripping these psychological triggers into the guys in her life, nothing new happened, but she could instantly see that these triggers started changing their behavior. At the end of the month, she had both men standing in line wanting her. At the drop of a hat, she was the one with all the control. She had finally gained her power back, felt more confident, strong, sexy, and in control than ever before. Now she knew exactly how she could get men to chase her, and she would use these psychological triggers to build a stronger and better relationship than before, because she didn't know what men actually secretly wanted. I don't know whether you want to learn these simple psychological triggers or not. If you want to learn what they are, you might want to click the link in the description now. You don't need to click the link in the description now. It's just that you'll learn exactly how to get men to chase you, even if you think all hope is lost. It's truly something to check out. If you're running out of options and you have no idea what to do right now, click the link in the description. Also, remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel because you'll get notified of every new Modern Love Potion video. If you're having troubles with love and men, you should watch our 3 best videos by tapping the screen now. They might solve your love problems instantly, kind of like drinking a Modern Love Potion that will make him fall at your feet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.